Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of the Hare Krishna Project podcast. This is episode number 145. Yes, we are just five. That's five episodes away from our 150th episode. A big thank you to everyone from all over the world who tunes in every week to watch this podcast. I appreciate each and every one of you being with us. Do not forget, if you're watching this on YouTube, if you haven't already, to hit the subscribe button. That way you can be kept updated about future podcasts and video productions from the Hare Krishna Project. And or if you're watching this on Facebook, which is the other way you can watch the podcast, if you haven't already, please do like and follow the Hare Krishna Project Facebook page. That's the other way you can be kept updated about the Hare Krishna Project podcast and all the other stuff we do here at the Hare Krishna Project. Okay, as you know, I love to interview a wide range of guests about a wide range of issues. Um, and I'm absolutely delighted to welcome our 145th guest this week. It's Nitya Gehini, Devi Dasi. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat pranams to you, Prabhuji, and to everyone watching.
It's great to have you with us. And I'm really excited about today's discussion topic because one of the things I know I host this podcast, but one of the things I like about it is we discuss different types of issues on each episode. And this discussion topic today is I want to use the expression cute and cuddly. It's a really kind of like comfortable topic to discuss. And we're going to find out what it is in a moment. Okay, so Nitya Gehini, the first question is the question that every guest gets. It's to warm you up, to warm me up. Um, please tell us a little bit about you and where you are from.
So, Hare Krishna. Like you said, my name is Nitya Gehini Devi Dasi, and I'm originally from Serbia. Actually, I'm born in ex-Yugoslavia, was beautiful country. And I was grow up in this country, like it was very, I feel very happy as a child, grow up in that country. After that, it was war and everyone separately, but it was like very nice background for me, for my childhood. So I was actually in the nature, so much in the nature and with the cows, with the animals. And even I was as a child, I was writing spiritual poetry. I was so much and that in that mode. Also, I'm from Orthodox Christian family. So like from early age, I was connecting with the Jesus Christ. And like even around 20s, I was so much in the spiritual mode, and even in that time, it was like I can say hippie poker, hippie mood everywhere. But I'm not so much in that. I can say I was not so much in drug, alcohols, and anything. Maybe because of my backgrounds, because of the parents, you know. And it was so much interesting things about my growing up, and because I was traveling like child much, and also after some time I discovered a spiritual life. Like I was reading so many interesting books, and when I was around 20, I met my husband. Actually, I was married early. And my husband actually was my first guru because he was in the Maharishi Mahesh movement there. Like he was meditating, doing CDs and everything else, like we said here, they call this Mayavadi philosophy. So I was involved in this so much. So I was many years I was there. Even actually, I lived in Holland, Switzerland, and ashrams. So it was like from 20s to 30s, like that was my life. So much in that. And also I was in business. I was having my own a shop, macrobiotic shop in Belgrade, main city of Serbia. And was so much involved in all these things, Ayurveda, macrobiotic, and these things. After that, after some time, I just realized I need, because I was very young, and my husband, it was like there to guide me. But after some time, when I was older, I realized something I need. I need some spiritual knowledge, something different, something. I was seeker, so I start to search. And after that, I have maybe few years. I was going there and there, meeting many gurus, different gurus, and I was impressed with some gurus. I was doing some practice. I'm practicing something. More, it was like meditation, a different meditation, different spiritual techniques. Also, I was in esoteric work, like early with the astrology, and also with regression therapy, with rebirthing therapy, many different spiritual techniques, working with the people from the young age. This is my karma, maybe. I mean, it's not maybe I know this is karma. In that way, after some times, I find Bhagavad Gita, a small Bhagavad Gita, not from devotees. And I'm not meeting devotees in that time. It was like I found somewhere, maybe from ex-husband, I'm not sure. It was like small Bhagavad Gita with no commenting there. And I was so much impressed that I remember I was reading for one day. Even I was I was locking my room, and I was reading this Bhagavad Gita for one day. And in that way, I meet Krishna and all this knowledge.
Wow.
And this was my story in short. I can say, yeah.
Just out of
This
interest.
was changing my life, my spiritual life, my
Hmm.
mind. It's changing my mind, actually.
Just out of interest, how did you get hold of a copy of the Bhagavad Gita? And which, do you remember which, was it a Prabhupada Bhagavad Gita?
No, no. No, it was not Prabhupada Bhagavad Gita. Somehow, I don't know, in Serbia, maybe from some bookstore, it was some small Bhagavad Gita with no commenting, no Prabhupada, no one commenting, just like that, But it was like, I was very impressed. This was changing actually my mind, and Krishna came in my life in that way,
Wow. So how did you then meet the devotees? How did you discover Krishna consciousness?
Mm. Actually, I meet devotee a few times through book distribution, but I was involved in some another things, like in some meditation, some different things, different techniques that I'm doing, that meditation and that. So I always thinking, okay, this is something similar what I'm doing. Okay, I'll try next time. I will go next time, like that, So I was not preparing, but after some time, one day, I remember I meet devotees to very big, beautiful Harinam in Belgrade. It was Satyanand Maharaj there, and it was so nice. And I was walking just on the street, and I meet devotees in that way, and I get a book. And I was when I saw them, in Harinam, I was very impressed. So it's something happened in my heart. I feel, wow, I have to go to this concert. After that, it was like in Belgrade, it was Nityananda group. Maybe you know about them, or it was very popular in Balkan and Europe. It was Nityananda group. Bhakti group with Sanchananda Maharaj, with some another gurus and many devotees from Serbia, from this area. And there was doing big concert everywhere. There was many, sometimes 1,000 people coming. So one day I decide, because it was some investigation there, so I decided to go. And it was like first time that I was in a concert, and I was getting Mahaprasad Prasad, and I was very impressed. And I remember I was thinking in my mind, okay, and I will go and I will live. I will be together with these devotees in the temple somewhere in the ashram. I was thinking after that. So this was how I meet, actually, for first time meeting devotee. After that, slowly, I meet some devotees, sometimes associating with them. And my first Shiksha Harinam, it was from Gaudiya Math. Now his name Prem Prayoger. Before it was different name because he was sannyasi, and he was, after some time, he married. So it was a very challenging time for me. I'm preparing to take initiation from Narayan Maharaj. Actually, that was situation, but after he changing the ashram, I was not in contact with him, and it was some disappointment there. So slowly I start to go to ISKCON. Srila Prabhupada taking care about me for some time.
Mm. And just out of interest, when was this? How many years ago was this?
uh, 20 years ago, maybe a little more. Yeah,
20 years ago.
little
Okay.
more, like 22. I'm not sure, but like that. Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
just trying to kind of understand the context of when it
Yeah.
happened, and I think I know the guru or the spiritual teacher you're talking about. I think so. I think so. So 20 years ago, and 20 years later, you're still in the Hare Krishna movement, which is fantastic. Congratulations for sticking around.
Congratulations to me after all this is gonna like things going on and many.
I think sometimes we need an award or a certificate for just sticking around, and putting up with it all. So tell me a bit about then, before we come on to talking about our main discussion topic. Tell me about some of your experiences in the Hare Krishna movement over the last 20 years. You then got involved with ISKCON. Um, Tell us about that, and your evolution as a person over the last 20 years.
Yeah, it's true. Okay. So when I'm after this situation with the guru, with my Harinam guru, so I came to ISKCON in Belgrade. It was some small center. So there I was meet some few gurus coming there. I have no chance to meet many guru for sure, but few gurus coming there. So like I was very spiritual, very preparing, because before Bhakti Yoga I was for a very long time I was vegetarian, and I was so much in spirituality, and I was very much preparing for somehow for this whatever is coming on. And in that way I meet Bhakti Krishna Goswami. So he take care about me, and somehow I'm get initiation first and second, and after second initiation, yeah, I'm already starting to do Pujari Seva in Belgrade Temple, and after that, after some time, I start to live and do Seva continuously in the Zagreb Temple in Croatia, in Europe. So my spiritual life is going on in that way. And Guru suggested me to go to Vrindavan and to help him about his seva in Vrindavan. It was like for in Seva in Sandipani Muni school, Food for Life for small children, teaching Seva. I mean, assisting. I was assisting teaching teacher there, like for small girls. This is like poor girls, like. I can say Brijbasi girls, and so I went there, and I was so much in love with Vrindavan from the first look, from first, meeting Brijbasi and all. And I was in that Seva for 4 years, maybe more. I'm not sure. Like, so it was very nice time, and yeah, it was like that. So actually, pointed that like in the last, in the past 10 years or no, t 12 years, maybe more. I'm in Vrindavan most of time, and sometimes a part of time I'm coming here in Serbia and Croatia and doing some seva. Or here I have some house with my mom, so I have to come anywhere like for sometimes. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
So let's now talk a bit more about India and a, a particular saver or a big saver that you undertake in India. For many years, you've devoted your life to feeding cows, feeding and looking after cows uh, in India, in the kind of Vrindavan Vraj area. Please tell us a little bit about your seva and why you are so inspired to do it.
Yeah. Thank you for this question. Actually, this is my loving subject to talk about. Um, So somehow, like always, I love animals from the child so much. I feel them how they're suffering. Always, something is there. By God will and when I came in Vrindavan and staying there for some times, even after 1 2 years, I see on the street I saw many cows, many, and that time it was many. Now it's not many. Now some situation is different, like in changing, but not so much. Like it was many cows, bulls, street cows, bulls suffering so much. No food, no proper food, no proper water, anything. Even I saw a few times the cows crying or something. Like I was so much at that. I was so much. Like I was disturbed. Actually, you going chanting there doing seven, going in the temple and you dressing, but you see this animals and this special soul of the Krishna. Uh, Krishna's friend from the spiritual world, they suffering so much, and I was shocked. Actually, I was very shocked. How is this possible? Let's just call it down, Vrindavan, and somehow by Krishna arrangement, I meet one devotee, one friend of mine. He's like just he's in also his Go Seva, but he showed me some videos how God Aksha. This is people the devoted the they're trying to steal. I mean, not to steal. The Muslim or some another people, bad people is coming sometimes coming the night, middle of the night to Vrindavan and they're stealing cows and bulls from the street of Vrindavan, and they they're packing them. They actually they're transporting them with a track or with a some like in many ways, hiding them to sell them for the killing. And he showed me this devotee, a friend of mine. He showed me some videos how they're doing this seva. They trying to do something. They're stopping them. They're fighting with them. They're trying to take the cows back. And I was very impressed with this, really very impressed. And I asked him what I can do, like how to start. I need to do something, but I'm just in another seva, so how can participate. And he said, just he inspired me so much. He said, like you just start to feed the cows in the street. You just start with a small, and you make some page. And I really doing this immediately. I made a page, Facebook page for the cow protection, and I start to feed them daily by myself. Just I was bringing some bananas, some food, some grass sometimes. But after some time, I realized, this is very small. This is nothing. I have to do something more because it's so many cows, so many bulls, they're suffering. And after that, I meet some devotees and make some cow street group. So this was starting like that.
Wow, wow. Thank you for sharing that.
Uh,
And you so now at the moment you're in Serbia, but you
mm,
spend a lot of the time. of the year in India,
Yeah.
running the project. So when you're in India, for instance, what happens? Do you go out every day? Do you have a team of people? Do you feed the cows 2 times a day, once a day? How does it work in practice when you're in India?
Yeah, good question. Actually, this year, not doing much because I was not a long time in India, just came from Vrindavan. But for many years, we was one group. Actually, I was in two groups of the street called Seva people, devotees, and was doing Seva daily for many years. Even when I'm even in one moment I was alone. I was trying something alone, and I was doing alone, even by holding big bags under with the grass alone with the rickshaw driver for 1 2 years like that, daily. And after that, I'm also finding some devotees. So we're starting also one group. This was like they were helping me so much. One Prabhuji from Sweden, one Mataji from Canada, and we was doing for a few years together. And we're not feeding just daily feeding, but not with the rickshaw driver with so many bags of grass and another food. It is not just grass. Like they need bread, they need different things, they need bananas. And also we find out like many dogs and monkeys suffering no food. So when we have Lakshmi, we almost every time or every second time we're feeding them also on the parikramar, going around the parikramar feeding. And then,
Wow.
yes, it was for many years. And this year, I said, I was not long time there, and I'm trying to figure out what is going on. So not many cows, bulls now on the street because government, they took something, like they try to do something. But what they try to do, they're putting them on in the goshalas. Many goshalas have no food. No, they're suffering actually there. Many goshalas, not enough food, not enough water, especially for the bulls. Bulls, you cannot milk them, and they putting them out on the street. So bulls suffering so much. Cows, they can use. This is mentality of Kali Yuga today everywhere. So it's in Vrindavan also. Not so much, but you can find this. So this year I was doing sometimes on the street and helping two Mataji's friend of mine. They have one have shelter of the bulls, big bulls from the street. Another one has 70 cows, bulls, and they doing such a big seva. Actually, I'm trying and helping them. How I can. And so
Wow.
this is the situation. Yeah.
So I think you just said that the government is kind of cracking down, or it's trying to reduce the number of cows and bulls on the streets of India and putting
Yeah.
them in goshalas. That's kind of a new policy, is it?
Yes, something like new politic. Yeah, I think this was starting before Corona or on at Corona times. Um, I'm not sure. A few years ago, they have new rules. They're putting them on the government goshala. Government goshala, not so. I mean,
Mm.
you cannot say like for the bulls, especially not so nice and happy place to stay.
Do you
And
know
they
why
have
the government? Do you know why the government is doing this?
they trying to do something. You know what? The like President Modi and Yogi, Prime Minister. They actually they good people. They some kind of devotees. They're like devotees, and they trying to do something. But in the reality, this is India. They trying to do something to organize. They have good things in the mind for the cows, Sarah, and to protect the cows and to help. But actually, in the reality, in the practice, you cannot do much like that because this is India. You know how is like the so in government Goshala. I cannot say bad things really, but it's not a good place
Mm.
for the bulls, especially because they're milking cows. They sometimes are selling bulls and And they have not enough food for the bulls. Indian bulls is so big, they need so much food and water. Sometimes they're not giving water to the sow. It's difficult, especially for the bulls. And yeah, this is the situation now.
So do you I have a number of questions. One of the questions is, in particularly in Vrindavan, how many
Yeah.
cows do you think there are on the streets of Vrindavan?
Just in the moment, I cannot say much because it's different situation. Much it's like more like bulls there, bulls now. Some bulls, but I cannot say number because sometimes situation changing. Sometimes you can find the bigger number, sometimes small, because they're going around. They sometimes going in area where is green place for the grassing, and for the Jamuna to drink the water. So I cannot say proper number, but it's less or before it was many, and now we feeding daily, so I know it was many, really many. I cannot say number. It was like many, maybe. So it's difficult to say the number.
Do you think your project, particularly when you return to India, will be able to go and work with the goshalas? So to go directly to the government goshalas and provide food? Do you think that's a possibility?
Yeah, we was doing this sometimes before. Yeah, we trying to help them because they sometimes they have not enough food, but they have money. They have big Lakshmi, Prabhuji. I mean, that's the situation. So what is this about? They have money. This is not problem. Just this like organization, and they maybe not caring so good about the bulls. But okay, they're trying to do something. The situation is changing. I want to say, like, this is a good opportunity to say something for the Prime Minister and President, like for Modi, because they devotee and they love cows. And I want to say, just please take this garbage from the Vrindavan street, this plastic. They're eating plastic. They're getting so sick. And there is really bad situation. They're trying to do something about this garbage situation or pollution, but not much. And I saw this year, I was checking everywhere, also many also garbage place and plastic garbage. What is the really bad for the cows? Even they suffering so much, especially bulls on the street eating this, and they getting sick and they dying after some time. Really, that's the situation. And I saw this many times. So please just educate the children in the school for the about this is holy dham. Vrindavan is holy dham. So there is Radha Krishna playing there. I mean daily. This is Golok Dham. And how is possible that so much plastic and garbage is there? So they have to do something really about that. They try, but not successfully so much. But this might like I begging like that because this will help cows. This will help Krishna will be more satisfied and happy. I'm sure about that because this is my realization how cow and bulls suffering on the street, because of this garbage. You know what is point? Point is that there is like in the garbage in this plastic always some food, some sweet or some from the veg or from the fruit. And bulls and cows, they like to eat this, Prabhuji. So this is and because they're eating this is mixing with the plastic. They eat plastic, and after that is so bad, they're getting sick, they're dying, they have many problems.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I'm
Uh,
fascinated about your Go Saver project. I have so many questions, but I'm conscious of the time. In terms of so you're running the project, and you've got a few volunteers that help with Seva. I mean, in terms of when you're in Vrindavan, do you have? I mean, could you get a lot of support if you needed it? Do you have big organizations like ISKCON supporting you and other organizations as well?
no, nothing like that. Even I was collecting donation from everywhere. Even I was doing this Seva on the street and everything else, like organizing. I was collecting to sorry to get enough Lakshmi donation for this Seva. So this is situation, and in Corona time something changing, and it's crisis everywhere. So in Europe, from where I'm, and I'm not much collecting, and everything is getting in Vrindavan, also in India, everything getting very expensive. So it's not easy to. This is really not easy to collect such a big Lakshmi, because if you're doing daily, you need a very big Lakshmi. What is like, for example, I don't know, 1,000 euro for months. I mean, maybe less, but now I cannot say because it's different price. It's different. Like, it's not small Lakshmi for India, for Vrindavan, and for this service. So now I said this year I was just watching what is going on, and now I'm just doing alone. I mean, helping friends how much I can. Yeah. So I try to do in the future more continuously, but this is depending really of donation or of this, because it's really expensive, and if you want to feed them and if you want to help, even medical help, anything, you need much, like
Thank you for sharing that. I now want
like,
to dig a bit. I now want to kind of dig a bit deeper and talk a bit about why this seva is so important spiritually. Why are cows so important to our Krishna conscious philosophy and our spiritual belief system? What is it deeply spiritually and philosophically that drives you to do this?
yeah. As as we know, the Krishna is always, especially Gopal, always in any photo, any pictures, any image, you can see Krishna standing next to cows. Yeah. So this is cows, bulls. It's like Krishna's pet animals from the spiritual world. So this is something, and also we know that cow is like one of the mother, and also we know that bull holding the principle of dharma, Rishabh, I mean bulls. This is described in the 10 canto of like on Srimad Bhagavatam. You can find 10:24, for example, and I mean many places. Many places in Bhagavad Gita also, but especially in Srimad Bhagavatam. And many leelas, many lila, even Govardhan lila, even killing Akasura, and these demons, the demon, the Krishna showing how much he's connecting, how much he loving cows. He's so much in love with cows. Even when Gopi is searching for him in the forest, I mean, they always finding him with the cows. Even he worship cows. Even he calling them by their own names, like many names. So he's so much personal relationship with the cows, and so much loving relationship with the cows. And also one thing, I mean, I like to talk about that because I think in ISKCON, not just in ISKCON, everywhere, the devotees not much, especially from the Western world, they have no enough knowledge about the cows, seva, and how much is cow important to Krishna and in our tradition. For example, maybe many devotees, they doesn't know that like cows, a holy cow, it's is the place where it's all demigods standing inside the cows or outside, you know. So all demigods, all holy river, all holy places, everything is there present in the cows. So what to say about that else? I mean, this is, I think this is enough. So how much is cow pure? She's so pure, you know.
Yeah, most definitely. And I mean, whenever we see pictures of Krishna or images of Krishna, we see Krishna with cows,
Yeah.
with bulls, and Krishna is the cowherd boy. And when we think of the pastimes of Krishna, there's often always cows involved. And I remember when I first went, so talking from a Western perspective, you talk about kind of Westerners not really understanding. I agree with that. And I didn't understand, until I went to India myself. And I remember going to India for
Uh,
the first time in 2013. And I was just a bit overwhelmed that there were cows everywhere. I remember
yeah.
turning up in New Delhi and I remember walking out of the train station and there were cows everywhere. And my initial thought was the cows, not the heat, the cows. I just couldn't believe it. I mean, I'd heard all these stories about cows being everywhere and people love and worship cows in India. It wasn't until I got there that I really experienced it. And,
Yeah.
I was trying to really focus on the cows spiritually. Even though I'm a Westerner, I'm from England, which is much cleaner and more orderly, certainly materially. And I remember
Only from outside, only from outside looking.
from outside, and I remember walking along, what's the name of the street opposite the New Delhi train station, the main bazaar. And all I wanted to do was
Yeah,
go into these shops, and there was these cows everywhere. And I couldn't quite believe initially how everyone was just so relaxed about it. I'm there like,
yeah,
oh, these cows. And all these Indian people are like, just like it wouldn't happen like that in Britain. And then I got it. I got it on that very first day in India, how much people loved the cow. The cow is the mother
yeah.
of India.
Yes, yeah, yeah. They from the born there. They have this attached, this love. They have this understanding because they know something about the shastras. Even you know so I will share something with you about that. I was very impressed by really Krishna mercy and Radharani mercy. I was in Varshana a long time ago, many years ago. I have opportunity to meet Ramesh Baba. This is one sage, like I can say, big sadhu, and he have many disciples, but actually he's staying in Varshana, here Varshana sadhu. So in that time, from many years ago, he cared about the cows so much. He adopt and he care about from the street and from everywhere 60,000 cows.
Wow.
60,000. It was in that time, and even I have in my one of my video on YouTube about the Seva I was sending to you before. Like I have one in one moment you can see from the far 60 are like so many thousand cow there in this area in Varshana. So I was so much impressed when I saw that, and I see this Baba, this sadhu giving his life, and he was not so healthy, having some health issues many times, but he's so much trying to help cows to do pure Go Seva for the cows and bulls. So he's
Wow.
showing how much cows is important, especially in the holy dams, everywhere, everywhere. Prabhuji, now it's like, what is now going on? Like now this going on, this politic about the killing cows and animals in the world. It's really terrible, I can say. And what we can say in the Western countries, you know how it's all. But in India and in Holidam, if we have opportunity to do something, even anywhere, to do something and try to do anything if it's possible.
Mm, mm. And it's a wonderful savor to partake in. And
Yeah,
yeah, it's actually very inspiring what you do. And you just mentioned the video that you sent me before this recording,
yeah,
which reminded me, I'm going to link that video with this podcast. I'll put it in the
yeah, please.
description.
This
And you,
video is for a long time. It's ISKCON Design Tree or so. I mean, many people saw, but it will be nice. This is old video, but nice showing and about the Go Seven, Vrindavan, and
mm,
Cow Seven.
mm. Yeah, and I think you were being interviewed by somebody on Indian TV or in Indian media outlets. So I'm gonna put
Yes,
that with this
some India
podcast.
media and some channels. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's all about the God Seva. Yeah,
yeah,
also talking about the God Seva.
it was very inspiring. And I'm going to put links to your Facebook page and your contact details with this
Awesome. Yeah,
podcast, um,
yeah.
because I'm sure that people will want to get involved or want to support you. We have a big following here at the Hare Krishna Project, and so I hope people
Mm.
do get in touch with you, because often I often meet. Well, I don't meet physically, but virtually, I meet a lot of devotees. People from around
Yeah,
the world contact me, and a lot of devotees are
sure.
looking for a project to support. They're looking for
Mm.
Seva, and we're kind of seeing a move away from big institutions now in the Hare Krishna movement. I'm seeing that often, and devotees want to get involved with a very non-controversial Seva where they can serve the Lord, use their skills, use their talents. And I can think of nothing better than feeding the cows of India. I mean, how
Yes.
non-controversial is that?
And yeah. This is so sweet, Seva. So sweet, Narada Prabhu. Like that, I was doing different sevas. Like I said, this teaching seva in the school, helping the small children, and Harinam Sankirtan seva in India, all over the India traveling. This is also everything is nice, but cow seva is something very special because cow is very merciful. If you do something, they can bless you. That you can be protecting, and then there's some another way that you cannot find in other sevas, like something special about that. And I saw and I experienced a big mercy on me. Even I have very so many times I have some mystical experience that Krishna is very satisfied that I'm doing anything about for the cows in Vrindavan. And I have these two friends of mine and few friends and devotees. I know they're trying to do big seva. Actually, maybe I'm not doing much, but how I like to do. But they doing a big service, and they're trying to feed the cows and to protect the cows and bulls in Vrindavan. But I can say it's really good that this kind of people and devotee existing there.
Thank you for that. So as well as
Um,
Goseva, you're also an astrologer,
yeah.
which I find fascinating. Can you please tell us a little bit about that, how it works? What is astrology? What is your role as an astrologer? And what kind of astrology do you read?
Mm. Yeah, actually, 20 years ago or more, 25 years ago, yeah, I was starting with the Western astrology. And now I was involved in this knowledge and trying to learn something about the planet. And I was always in a loving relationship with the planets, with the stars. So it was starting when I was really young. And after some time, I discovered Jyotish. Even before Bhakti Yoga, I discovered Jyotish when I was practicing um, meditation and spiritual life in different way. And I'm starting to learn to about the Jyotish. Jyotish is part of the Vedas, and like it's not just ordinary astrology like Western astrology. It's like I can say higher level of astrology. It's Jyotish and Vedic astrology. Because it's a part of Veda, and for example, Jyotish, Veda, we know that Vedas they have the body, they and then in this spiritual body of the Vedas, Jyotish representing the eyes of the Vedas. So I think eyes is very important for any beings, any even human beings, anyone. So I find out the Jyotish is like a part of the Vedas, very. I can say can help so much, in the spiritual part. They can help anyone very much. Yeah, just it's very spiritual knowledge. Yeah, and also I'm practicing Mayan calendar, Mayan astrology. The all the Mayan people for the many years. This is also very, very interesting, and somehow there is some connection. We find some connection with the Vedic astrology, and then long time ago there was some connection with the Mayan people, and they have some this Mayan calendar, the Mayan astrology, and also. I'm practicing this for the years, and with the people and the client and whoever is there for searching for for guidance, spiritual guidance on
Wow. Wow. I've met a number of devotees in the past who practice Jyotish astrology, and we've had a number of astrologers on the podcast over the last 3.5 years, at least two or three. And I mentioned one of them to you before we hit the record button. In fact, we've had a wide range of guests that are into different not alternative practices, but alternative practices that are kind of deeply rooted within Krishna consciousness. But yeah, and in terms of Jyotish astrology, so would it work in the sense that if I gave you my date of birth and the time that I was born, you could tell me some things about me? Is that how it works?
Uh-huh. Yes, in the moment you mean, or I can prepare.
Well,
It's better.
I don't want to put you on the on the mark, but yeah, I mean, in fact, I'm not going to tell you my date of birth. You probably tell what type of person I am already. But would that normally be what happens? Someone gives their date of birth and time in the
Yeah.
city they were born in.
Actually, like how I'm doing is like because I'm checking a different charts, not just Jyotish and the West, and sometimes Western chart on my calendar, my astrology or numerology. So someone can give details, and for Jyotish, it's very important the exact time of birth. When you need to know exact time, or you have to do some checking of the time. There are one techniques. I'm not doing this, but some people, someone, sometimes someone doing this, and because there is many chart in Vedic astrology, there is many charts. It's not that we have like we can say D1, D9. There's so many charts is there. So sometimes we if we want to go deeper, and to look and deeper in some chart, we need exact details. And for example, I need some time, like always I need one day to prepare, like to meditate about that, to look at the chart, to meditate of the chart, to connect spiritually with these charts. And after that, I'm talking to the people. I mean, after that, I'm doing consultation. Yeah. So in
Wow.
my sometimes there's some astrology, especially in the West, they're doing just like this now. But yes, you can say something. But if you really want to go deeper, if you want to do this in spiritual way, so you need some time to meditate because astrology is also very big. And I mean, this is big knowledge. Even now I'm learning, like I was in a Jyotish Academy studying 20 years ago, and always I'm learning more because it's some levels there in Jyotish and any astrology. This is signed, and you have to always you have something new to know, to learn. It's a big, yeah.
Do a lot of people come to you for astrological advice and support?
I'm not so much in, for example, I'm not going in the media for astrology, like because this is not my mode, But yeah, I have many clients and the friends and the people coming to me everywhere in the world. especially devotees, or I'm referring to those for the spiritual people. I mean, someone who's searching for the spiritual path, like, because I'm doing this in a spiritual way, and going deeper and looking at these charts in that way. So, so this is very good for the anyone who's searching for the gurus, for spiritual path, for the purpose in the life, like that.
And does, I mean, forgive my naivety, but does Jyotish astrology,
Yeah.
does it provide prophecies for the future? Does it predict the future in any way?
Mm. Yeah, of course. This is one part of the Vedic astrology. Yeah, one part is, yeah, they can predict, of course. Yeah, it can predict, but this is not main point of. There is many levels, I can say, but ordinary people always looking for the just for prediction, like what will be in the future, what will be tomorrow. Yeah, we can say easily if it's good astrologer, if it's good jyotishi, you can say easily this, because if it's good in the knowledge, you can see easily. But point is like I can say in jyotish, like spiritual level, like part of the Vedas. It's not everything predictable, especially for the spiritual people, for example, we know that like many sage or sadhus not looking for astrology. No, they not need, no need, no need to look there to check why they connecting so much with the Krishna, with the spiritual source, So they, in that way, the planet and they is not working like I can say like ordinarily a person, someone normal, like I can say normal, like this kind of person is on the karma track, with just some ordinary person coming for the searching for the future or not. And spiritual people and sages, like, and sadhus, they not in this track, they in different level. So like there is many level of how we have to look at astrology and the planets and the stars, nakshatras. Yeah.
Wow. And do you have like also a Facebook page or a website for your astrological
Mhm.
services at all?
Yes, yes, yes. I was having actually website is now at the moment something there to fix. But I have, yeah, I have. I can send you. Yeah,
If you
I
want to
can.
send me your a Facebook
Mhm.
page, I'm happy to promote that as
Yeah.
well. I mean, I think in the interest of fairness, I should. I have promoted other astrologers on this podcast before, at least two or three. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
and
Thank you. It's nice from you anyway.
no worries. And I think it's important for us as Krishna devotees, as Hare Krishna devotees, to know that astrology is part of the mainstream of Bhakti Yoga, of Krishna consciousness, of Vedic teachings. It's not some alternative thing that's on the
Yeah, yeah,
fringe
yeah.
or on the
Yeah,
edge. Astrology is a
absolutely.
mainstream part of our philosophical system that we follow,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, like I said, Jyotish is part of the Veda. What is problem
yeah.
there? Even Srila Prabhupada was using. They said, yeah, Srila Prabhupada said like astrology, need. Sometimes he said, but sometimes, but he wearing all these rings. Why he wearing? Because this was like Brahmana giving to them, to him. They're doing yagas. So he accepting. So he said, astrology is like if you see the rain is coming, you will take umbrella. You just hold umbrella with you. So it's not that Srila Prabhupada was talking something bad about astrology. Maybe sometimes he talking some contra. Like can say different things for different people, but I know this for sure. The he is wearing the all these rings with the stones.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
somehow he, even. even pure devotees, if he is so, which means something is there. Why will not use this knowledge? Why will not, if something is there good for us, why will not use this? And especially in my way, I'm using all this like Lakshmi, I can say what is coming from my God Seva and for spiritual and devotional service. So
Mm.
I think it's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, good opportunity.
Yeah, and I know of a lot of devotees, and a lot of devotees do this. They go to an astrologer if they want advice on who to marry or the type of person to marry or when to have a child or when to move house and all these big things in someone's life. A lot of devotees will go to an astrologer for advice on these issues. And that's great. It's more mainstream than we think. I personally haven't been to astrologers over the years. Probably why I've made so many mistakes. But maybe I should consult
Okay.
astrologers more often.
If you accept, I can like I can do for you like gift, if you will accept. Yeah.
I think offline I'm going to give you my date of birth. I also know the
Yeah.
exact time I was born.
Okay.
Because
Okay, we will
because
see that.
my mother has four sons. I'm the oldest of four, and she knows the exact time we were all born, and she tells us on our birthday every year. Oh, she looks at the clock. Oh, So I know the time I was born and the city I was born in, and I obviously know my date of birth. So I will send you those details um,
Good.
after this recording. Fantastic. We've had a fantastic conversation today. We've been recording the podcast for almost an hour, and it's been really. I find it fascinating to talk about, particularly your cow saver, your Go Saver project in India. I think it's actually quite sad you don't get more support, because there must be thousands of cows in India, particularly in the Vraj region, in Mathura, in Vrindavan, and I find it sad. It's a challenge, but quite sad. You kind of sound like you're on your own feeding these cows.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes the some devotees, like some Brijbasi, they really appreciate this, and sometimes I mean, it's Kali Yuga, you can find every kind of people everywhere, and sometimes they thinking this is stupid. What some devotees, some Brijbasi, they're very appreciating, and we are inspiring many Brijbasi to do this seva. We starting like many years starting, and now inspiring some devotees from Vrindavan to doing on the street. They're trying to do something good, so it's good. I think this is really nice, and Krishna love for sure.
Great. Well, I hope people watching this podcast will be inspired to support you in any way possible. So I think what I'm going to do now, Nitya Gehini, is just say goodbye to the viewers at home, and then you and I can have a brief debrief after. But a huge thank you to Nitya Gehini Devi Dasi for being our guest on the 145th episode of the Hare Krishna Project podcast. I don't think, or I'm not aware, there's anything astrologically significant about the number 145. It's a bit of an odd
This
kind of.
is number one. This is Surya Day, and today is Sunday. It's also Surya Day, so it's good, Nimita. And also, if it's Ekadashi today, I think it's something special, like spiritual energy. And Surya is very present. Surya is good for the knowledge, for the clearing things. I think it's
Yes,
good number.
yes. And just so
Yeah.
everyone's completely aware, this is being recorded on Sunday, the 13th of October. Some of you might have thought this was live, but actually it never has been live. And this is certainly in the UK, in the West, on the calendar I've got on the wall, it's Kadashi. I know different mats and different places of the world mark Kadashi differently. So that's why Nisha Gehini said that. It's a very special day today. Well, every day is special in Krishna consciousness, isn't it? Every day is an opportunity to chant the Lord's names and serve the Lord. But I am incredibly grateful to Nitya Gehini for being our guest on this week's podcast. It's been fantastic to hear her story, and I'm really appreciate her giving up her time to record this podcast with me. So do not forget. I say this every time, but do not forget, if you're watching this on YouTube, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. Every time I say that, the number of subscribers does increase, so you are listening to what I'm saying. Please hit the subscribe button so you can be kept updated about future podcasts and video productions from the Hare Krishna Project. And if you're watching this on Facebook, which is the other way you can watch this podcast, if you haven't already, please do like and follow the Hare Krishna Project Facebook page. As you know, you get all the news and all the updates about what's happening in the Hare Krishna movement on these social media platforms. So a big thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next week. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.